which are not very well connected with railways or roadways, like Majuli Island in Assam, which is considered to be the biggest river island in the world, is not very well connected with the road network, and the cost of road transportation or railway transportation is very high. Can very well be served with waterways movement, and we are working on that. We have done trial movements. So we have done a lot of trial movements as an industry partner. We have moved coal and fly ash from the central India to northeast, and we have moved clinker and cement, which is our product, to Bangladesh and to rest of the country through this route. And these trials have given us a lot of learnings, upon which we have submitted our learnings to the IWAI, and they have certainly come forward and worked upon it. A few examples: Pandu Port, which is the main river port in the entire northeast in Guwahati, was having a road connectivity issue because it is situated in the Guwahati city. So there was a road connectivity, very narrow and congested road was there. And IWAI has come forward and created a road on the river bank, taking the river bank route. And the road is, I think, commissioned or maybe getting commissioned very soon. Similarly, there was no vessel repair and vessel building facility out there in Assam, which has been built and it has been developed. So these developments will certainly be making things possible in time to come. We are on a right path, and development is taking in a very speedy manner. And dredging activity in IBP route has always been a big challenge, but we have seen developments in that too. River Brahmaputra is a sifting river, and dredging activity always remain a challenge there. So, but a lot of efforts have been done by IWI. The biggest effort by IWI that has been done is supporting these trial movements and supporting these first-time movements. And by these supports, actually things are happening. And I'm really thankful to the team of IWI. And last thing that I would like to mention here is that Star Cement's experience has certainly paid back in developing the number of things that we have come across and the developments that are taking place. I'm really thankful to IWI team for supporting this movement.
I think we can have a round of applause for IWI for supporting in all the initiatives. Thank you so much, Mr. Purohit. Moving from Star Cement to Ultratech, Captain Behra, how is Ultratech looking at integrating inland waterways as part of the overall logistics? And also I would want to check, do you think standardization of vessels can play an important role in terms of movement of cement specifically from this mode?
Good morning all. I would thank IWI for giving me this opportunity to speak on such a very important topic, which is India's logistic landscape. As we strive for cost efficiency, multimodal integration, and sustainability, inland waterways emerge as a strategic enabler. Inland waterways strategic values are, it is cost effective. So for transporting 1 ton of cargo in water is what rupees 1 per kilometer. For by road it is 2.5, and by rail it is 1.3. Secondly, it is sustainable. As we see, it reduces carbon emission and fuel consumption. So the carbon emission is reduced by 80% in comparative to road. Third is decongestion. If you see road and rail, if there is congested, then it is easing off and helping the logistic fluidity. For example, in one barge we are carrying 1500 to 2000 metric ton of cement, which can ease off about 50 to 60 barges from the road. Fourth is the limitation in road and rail network. So in hilly terrains where the road and rail network have limitations and having disruption of flood and landslide, inland waterways plays a alternative role to cater the cargo. So suppose in case of flood, we are sending cement through inland waterways to northeast. And inland, our Ultratech experience uh, with the inland waterways is in December 2014. We, under the scheme of Jalbag scheme and scheduled services, we uh, successfully transported cement from Calcutta to Pandu port. It was a big milestone, but we have the turnaround time, which is key in the inland waterways, is very high. So we request following measures to be taken to reduce the turnaround time. First is we can explore of night navigation, where we can, with the assistance of local people or pilot, night navigation can be achieved. Second, the vessel currently is flying with 5 knots, which can be enhanced to 10 knots. So half the steaming time will be achieved. Third is green channel at the cross border. So documentation at the border, it takes about 2 days, so that can be reduced. And fourth is mechanization of load port and unload port. So currently, if we are taking a 22 days of turnaround time, by getting green channel and night navigation, we can reduce it to 11 days. And further, if we make it vessel performance by speed increasing 10 knots, it can further reduce to 6 days. And if you do mechanization of the load and unloading port, the total operation can reduce to by 8 days. So with 10 days of 10 days, we can move cement from one place to northeast significantly.
Thank you, Dr. Mehra. I think a few good suggestions for IWI to take note of and implement in future. I would now want to move on to Mr. Vivek Arya, the regional CEO for Renus Logistics. Mr. Arya, Renus is a global player, with headquarters in Germany, but you have taken a bet in terms of inland waterways in India. So what has been the motivation behind that, and where do you think we can go forward from here?
I think the biggest motivation is coming from the work which the government and Inland Waterways Authority has done. Over the last 2.5 years, our team has gone practically to every terminal on the National Waterway 1, 2 and 16. That's where we plan to go live. I think we have paucity of time at the moment, and just want to say that we will go live in Q1 next year, and we are deploying first 30 assets with barges and pushers along the National Waterways 1, 2 and 16. And we believe as Renus, as being the largest operators on inland waterways in Europe, that this is a model that could be replicated in India. But there will be a lot of learning for the next 18 to 24 months, and this is work in progress for us.
Thank you, Mr. Arya. Mr. Gogoi, very quickly, what do you see the potential of petrochemicals through inland waterways?
Can you repeat, please?
As the managing director of Assam Petrochemicals, what do you think the overall potential which petrochemicals carry through inland waterways movement?
Okay, thank you. Good morning to all once again. I'll be very short because the Honorable Minister will be amongst us soon. Firstly, before I answer the question, presently we are transporting by road close to 20,000 tons of petrochemical products by road. So that's the potential is immense. If you can shift even 50% of our products also. So now coming back to the inland waterways, as far as the northeast is concerned, and I come from one of the most northeastern part which is very close to the Arunachal border. So in terms of product evacuation, I would just like to add that, three things which immediately comes to my mind to promote that. The first part will be the assured navigability, because NW2, which we all are aware that it's very sill prone and erosion prone. So assured navigability and reliability. That I would say will be the #1 point. The secondly would be that the cargo aggregation model. The cargo aggregation model has to be, I mean, just to take care of, moving bulk cargo, and then of course, the last mile connectivity. The infrastructure has developed now, but again, the last mile connectivity from the plant or from the fields to the port, that is something, there is a gap, and it's filling up very fast. So hopefully, in the coming days, that will also be overcome. Thirdly, I would say is that, the process can be, it's already very simplified now, as I know, but further simplification opportunities are there to make it, more involved for the ones who are willing to trade on the waters. That's something I strongly believe. And of course, the digital coordination between the road and rail network. I think these are very important, areas where more work needs to be done for more engagement. And of course, I mean, once development comes, prosperity will definitely come.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much. I think technology would play a key role going forward in this sector. Let me go to now Mr. Harry. Harry, you have seen the development of IWT sector in India for the last 15 years, and you are literally an authority in the multimodal logistics globally. What do you think are some of the right things which we have done, and what are the next steps India should be taking in terms of further development of this sector?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you first of all for having me here. I'm very honored to be part of the panel. And I'm from a very small country in terms of people and in terms of size, but big in terms of waterways and maritime developments. And I see a lot of similarities between our river system and the Indian river systems, although the Indian river systems are more natural rivers, but still, as my neighbor just said, we think that a lot of concepts that are developed internationally could also be applied in India. I'm also very happy that I'm here with people that have the cargo, because for me, having the cargo is the basis for a good inlet waterway system. And when I compare, let's say, the European waterways with the Indian waterways, I see one very big difference, is that the European waterways are economic corridors. The industries, the chemical industry, the manufacturing plants, the steel plants, but also logistics are all concentrated along the waterway. And that makes the business case relatively easy. So last mile transportation, when you can avoid that, then you avoid large part of the cost. So the building of business cases with the industry, for me, is an important point. There's one other thing, of course, the infrastructure is always the basis. So without a good infrastructure, nothing will happen. But when we invest in inland waterways, we have to invest in such a way that it is fit for the future. So we cannot do real major interventions or physical interventions that will give all kind of negative effects. So there are solutions available to work with nature, or to, let's say, find solutions where you can still offer solutions for shippers and for logistic companies without really changing the waterways. And especially with natural waterways, that's very complicated to do. Also in the field of investing in the fleet. When you now invest in a conventional vessel, it will be there for the next 30 years. But we all know that the conventional type of vessel is not going to last. We have to find new solutions for that, which are available for a number of market segments, but maybe not for all. So for the areas where you do not have already a solution, maybe you can build a standardized vessel with modular systems where you can replace part of the vessel when a new technology becomes commercially interesting. From the field of digitalization, automation, also the Waterway Authority can do a lot of things. There are a lot of digital systems available. There's information on the waterways, on the flows, on, let's say, the availability of the locks and the opening hours, and all that information can be shared with the operators and with the companies so that they could implement what we call a corridor management, where you could optimize your logistics by using the information that is made available via the Waterway Authority. One important thing is the business case. So how could you make a good business case? There are a lot of shippers in India that have one-way traffic. And because of the one-way traffic, it's very difficult to make a business case. In our system, we have a system called logistic advisors, which are independent people that analyze the logistic flows of big companies. So suppose we have a chemical factory and we have another factory with different types of cargo, which you could combine to balance flows, to increase the base load. That is something I think could improve the business case in an enormous manner and could help the development of waterway transportation. Things like the vessel standardization, very important in terms of investment in vessels. When you design a vessel, every time a dedicated vessel for a specific case, it's going to be expensive. When you more or less standardize vessels and use them, the business case again becomes easier. There is an issue also on financing. Maybe two more points that I would like to raise. Financing, what we hear a lot from the Indian business is that it's very difficult to finance equipment. In Europe, we have a system where we have bank guarantees. Bank guarantees given by governments to commercial banks for risky investment. For example, in those kind of guarantees, they can reduce the interest rate and can make it easier to invest in new technology. Financing, where we have a business case for a company where the shipper, supplier, the shipping company all together decide on how to finance that business case, with the shipper guaranteeing a certain base load for a certain period of time. And in that kind of model, a financial institution can step in, a shipyard could step in. There are very interesting examples that you could follow. There is also one thing that we called corporatization. There's a lot of small shipping companies. What we see in our markets, that these small companies combine forces in terms of corporations. They still are independent operators, but they combine, so have to have a larger volume and to be more flexible. Then I come to the last point, which is international cooperation. Yesterday, Honorable Minister Sonowal and our Minister Timan signed a new memorandum of understanding. Well, it's not a new one, it's extended. It's already there for many years, and under that memorandum of understanding, inland waterways transportation is a big component. And there we do knowledge exchange. We have joint activities. We organize visits to the Netherlands or to Germany or to Belgium to showcase how our waterways are used and developed. And a lot of those, let's say, practices are already implemented in the Indian inland waterway system. I think that is a way that we would like to continue very much. We stimulate that, and as a company, Nestra, we are very much committed to be there for the coming years and to support India in developing the inland waterway ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. Very interesting points. I would just want to go back to Mr. Arya once. Mr. Arya, Harry talked about commercial viability, the financing side. What do you think are two most important enablers to make inland waterways commercially viable for the large logistics players?
I think number one, in India we don't have a river-facing industry and the two-way loads. I think that's one of the key factors to make sure that this is working in a profitable manner for the operators. Another, I think, is the draft in the rivers. which is also a challenge and which is being addressed by IWT. And we've had multiple rounds of meetings with IWT, and they have really come forth to help us, support us on that one. So I think the two big game changers will be two-way loads as well as the draft along the river.
Sure, thank you. And I think on the riverine-based industrial clusters, states like Odisha, West Bengal, ma'am, I think, a lot of initiatives are being taken. So just last question, what do you think would be one policy or institutional reform you would want to prioritize based on all the discussions you have heard today?
Most of the marine states are having a single window clearances and having an institutional platform headed by a senior elected member or the executive, like maritime boards. So as one of the institutional mechanism, if you say, I would mention that a maritime board at the helm of the state would be appropriate to take many initiative forward, because it is not only one part. We see the entire ecosystem has many players to coming and falling in place to make things work. So I'm sure that that is one institutional mechanism we will be doing. Other than that, we have the vision document. I think every state has come up with a vision document with clear KPIs for each year what they are going to do, because national mission is there to align ourselves with the mission, because India being the federal setup. So all have to work in the same direction. So those are the two things I specify, the vision document and having the executive institutional mechanism. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Chairman, sir, lot of recognition for the efforts which IWI has taken, including the pilot movements which IWI has been able to support, obviously without which, we will not know the long-term success. What do you think are, two key takeaways for you from the entire discussion, and where you would want IWI to focus on?
Actually, if you see, IWI uses multi-criteria matrix to that includes cargo potential, that includes your navigability, willingness of cargo owners, and regional development goals. So on these basis, we actually prioritize our initiatives for development of national waterways. Waterways like National Waterway 5, which in Odisha, which Madam is coming, and National Waterway 68 in Goa, are being prioritized due to their strategic locations and industrial linkage. Whereas while waterways, national waterways in northeastern region are vital for regional connectivity and integration. Similarly, we are also prioritizing National Waterway 1. We are doing a lot of work on that, which passes through 4 states, UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. National Waterway 10, Amba River, where JSW has its infrastructure. National Waterway 91, Shastri River. Then National Waterway 100, Tapi River in Gujarat. They are also being prioritized due to major coastal transshipment, coastal cargo traffic transshipment to hinterland through inland water transport. Whereas the major upcoming cargo hubs which IWAI has planned in Varanasi, Sahibganj, and Jogighopa, they are also can also cater to last mile and first mile for major industrial hubs in UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Assam, and can also facilitate exports in a most cost-effective manner. So we are actually taking developmental activities to based on these criteria, and right now I would like to inform the audience that 32 national waterways have been operationalized, whereas in 2014 it was only 5 national waterways, and out of that only 3 were operational. So in the next 2 to 3 years we are going to operationalize 85 national waterways, And that involves a lot of work which we are working on in close cooperation with the state governments, with industry partners, and we are hopeful that in the years to come, IWT is going to be a major partner in the total cargo logistics.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I think we may have time for a couple of questions from the audience for our esteemed panelists. Anything? Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your time and sharing your insights into how we can enhance the cargo movement on Indian waterways as a mode of transport. Uh, yeah. With this, we'll be closing this particular session and then moving on.
I would like to thank our moderator and all the panelists for such an enriching session. Thank you so much. Now I would request Shri A.K. Bansal to felicitate our esteemed panelists. That is Srimati Usha Padi, Principal Secretary, Housing and Urban Development Department, Government of Odisha, and Additional Charge of Commerce and Transport Department. Shri Sunil Kumar Singh, Chairman, ICIWAI. Mr. Harry de Leer, Partner, Nestra, Netherlands. Shri Pranab Jha, Executive Vice President, JSW Steel Limited. Captain Priyaranjan Bahera, AVP, Ultratech Ports and Shipping. Shri Pradeep Purohit, Chief Operating Officer, Star Cement. Shri Vivek Arya, Regional CEO, India Renis Logistics. Shri Rajneesh Gogoi, Managing Director, Assam Petrochemicals Limited. And now I would request to felicitate Shri Amit Gupta, Partner, EY. Thank you so much. Now I would request all the panelists to please stand for a group photograph. I would request everyone to please stand for a group photograph. Thank you so much, everybody. Now I request Ms. Tanya Chandra to give a small presentation on legal framework under the Coastal Shipping Act 2025 for integration of coastal and inland waterways.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tanya. I'm part of the legal consultants team, that is PLR Chambers, for the Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways. I'm here today to